God bless America, and welcome to the Jazz McKay Podcast Extravaganza. That is what we're doing, right? Goose, it's a podcast? What exactly is a podcast? What's the definition of a podcast?
You want my definition of a podcast?
Lugnut Larry, what is the definition of a podcast?
Down in Louisiana, we've got these little peas that grow in pods. Yeah.
So we're doing radio inside of a pea?
Absolutely.
Okay,
yeah,
well, that works.
Yeah. We're up to one listener right now.
We've got one listener out there. Yeah. Jazz McKay, along with Lugnut Larry this afternoon on kerncast.com. And happy birthday, America.
Happy birthday, America. Independence
Day. Now, what do you say, Larry? Do you say 4th of July?
No, sir. No.
You say Independence
Yesterday,
Day.
I was wishing everybody a happy 3rd of July. Coming up on December the 25th, I'm going to wish everybody a happy December the 25th.
There you go. Well, what,
Same thing for January.
I was thinking about this. Yesterday there were some folks on Facebook who were talking about, asking a question, what do you remember growing up for the 4th of July?
Yeah.
And
man.
We were in Oklahoma City until I was 10, and we moved to Denver, and then to Midland, Texas, and then to Houston subsequently, because my father worked for an oil company, worked for Shell, and so we got transferred around a lot. But my fondest memories are those 10 years I was in Oklahoma City, and God, we used to get the black cat fireworks.
After the zebra.
And the zebra. I forgot about the zebra. Do you remember the snake?
Yeah, oh yeah.
It was like this little tablet, right?
It's a little
tablet. Looked like a little lead tablet. Do they really?
Yeah, they do.
And you light it, and it would just kind of grow, and it could make this little, weird ash snake.
Yeah, it was a weird ash snake.
Yeah. And do you remember?
It would leave a weird ash black mark
on the driveway. Exactly. Well, I remember too, 4th of July. Did you ever do this? My dad was real insistent that we put the bottle rockets in the Coke bottle, but I just couldn't do it.
No.
There's an art to it.
There is.
Okay, what we're talking about is shooting a bottle rocket off from your hand.
Absolutely.
There's a way to do it. Mm-hmm. First of all, you light it, and then you hold it back here.
Yes, sir.
And then you throw it like that, and it takes off.
Yeah.
That was, I used to piss off.
Unless you were aiming at somebody.
We used to have Roman candles.
Roman candles, yeah.
Having the Roman candle
Highly
wars.
dangerous, loads of fun.
Absolutely. If you're not living on the edge when you're 12 years old, what the hell good
and
are you?
have one backfire right here in the crotch. That happened to me.
You ever seen these things? They're mortar shells. You've got a tube.
Yeah.
And you light it and drop it in, and it shoots off. I mean, it's the real stuff. The stuff that makes Lois Henry cry at night.
That it does.
And I was up at some lake house in Michigan, and I bought just a ton of these
reloadables, right?
You drop the mortar shell into the cannon, and it would shoot off, and then you drop another one.
Yeah, those are the best. Unless you put them in wrong. Gotta have a couple.
Something like that. There was a box of fireworks, of the illegal fireworks. Yeah. I was out in the middle of the street in this lakefront community, and I'm lighting them off. Boom, boom, kaboom, one right after another, and suddenly one of them decided not to go up, but go sideways, and it literally blew a hole in that cannon, that cardboard cannon. And that son of a gun shot across the front yard and went in between. My girlfriend was standing to the right of the box of fireworks, and it literally went right in between her and the box of fireworks. Scared the bejesus out of me.
Wow.
And it was like, okay, the box of fireworks is going inside the house.
Not a good place for fireworks.
We kept on shooting them off, though. Yeah. But sparkler, do they still make the ones out of metal today, the sparklers?
I don't know. I know they make like the 2 and 3 foot long ones.
Yeah, they got these long ones.
But I think they're on wood.
But they're wood, and they've got, their paper and everything like that. Yeah. But let's talk about Independence Day and what we celebrate, the freedom that we have in this country that we're so fortunate to live in. And I was reading about this the other day. I don't think they teach this in school anymore. The Declaration of Independence was signed on what day, Larry?
It was actually signed by all of them on July the 2nd,
Right.
1776.
And then, but was it ratified through Congress? Is that?
No, it wasn't ratified at that point. They had all signed it. I picked this up on Levin last night, and he said that on July the 4th, I believe it was ratified. Then on July the 8th, it was actually presented to the American public. Right. And that is the first time that the Liberty Bell actually rang.
In that
July
original
8th,
document, this is weird. You know this? The original well, I think the original document was signed on July 2nd.
Yeah.
And then there were I read there were over 200 copies. Now, can you imagine the guy that had to sit there and transcribe 200 copies of the Declaration of Independence? They didn't have movable type in those days. And out of those 200, I'm not sure exactly how many still exist. There was one, did you hear about this? One that was found at a garage sale.
Yeah, I just heard that.
Did you see
Somebody
that?
just found that.
Yeah,
they
found it in the back of. They bought a painting or something, and took it home. They were going to remount it in a different frame, and sure enough, they take it apart, and there's a document inside. They open it up, and it's the Declaration of Independence. One of the copies.
Yeah.
And I think it sold for $1.7 million or something.
Could have sold for a lot more, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Man, that's a fantastic
But
story.
one of the things that a lot of people don't, I found fascinating, the document that's in the, is it Smithsonian in Washington, D.C., where they have it?
Yeah,
they have one of the copies there. It's really huge. And did you know that on the back of that document, the one that's in Washington, D.C. on display, is written, upside down, is written the Declaration of Independence, July 4, 1776. It's written on the back.
Oh.
And I was sitting there thinking, what were they faxing it? I mean, you know how it is.
Timestamp.
2:05
in the afternoon.
You write on the back. You write the phone number on the back of the paper,
Gotcha.
and you run it through, and then you dial the number, and it goes on there. It's the strangest thing, man.
Yeah. The other problem with it was it's that your transmission was set over.
I want to thank Kelly for inviting me to be on
I caught
our
a little
show
piece
today.
of that earlier today.
Very
I understand
nice.
you're a controversial figure.
Is that what she said?
That's right at the beginning of her show.
Apparently,
I'm sitting
I
here
am.
with a controversial
It's
figure.
hard to imagine
Yes.
that a teddy bear like
Such
me
as yourself.
is being such a horrible human being,
Yeah.
a vicious, vile, controversial SOB.
Yeah.
That's pretty much me.
Well, you can look at you and see that.
I don't, we were talking about civility
Yeah.
among the parties, among the Republicans and the Democrats. And the Democrats have lost all civility, it seems, whatsoever. There was never a time that, at least I can remember, even going back to one of the filthiest Republicans of all time, Richard Nixon, where there was any call for violence against the opposing party. And we're seeing that a lot nowadays. And my friend, you know Eric Golub?
Yeah, sure do.
Great blogger, a very funny guy. And I love his memes that he puts up on Facebook. And we've been friends he filled in for me a couple of times, drove up from L.A. And he wrote an article that I wanted to direct your attention to on his Facebook page. Eric Golub, go look him up if you don't know who this guy is. Phenomenal, intelligent, brilliant guy. He wrote this. He said, Steve Scalise gets shot. Rand Paul is nearly beaten to death. The North Carolina GOP headquarters was firebombed. The New Hampshire GOP headquarters was vandalized as well. Various administration officials stalked in restaurants. Various administration officials chased out of those restaurants and harassed even at home with their children. He said various Hollywood celebrities are spending time and sending death threats to Trump's children, including a little kid, 11-year-old, what's his name, Barron? Barron Trump.
Yeah.
Conservative speakers, we've seen this, shouted down on campus, hit with pies and all this, the Ann Coulter thing, the Milos thing, in Berkeley and all that. Maxine Waters, though, this goes beyond the pale, is out there supporting violence. She's calling for violence, even though she claims she didn't. Then you've got the term resistance. is real popular nowadays. The resistance movement. The resistance movement. There is nothing peaceful about the resistance movement. Eric Golub says violence is violence all of the time. It's wrong. And he's right. I mean, these liberals will try and give you the impression that somehow they're peaceful people. But Larry, are they peaceful?
No, they're exactly the things that they say they are not.
They're not.
Right.
They claim to be tolerant,
right.
but they are not.
Yeah.
They claim to be loving and caring. They're not.
They're not. They claim to be inclusive, but what do? They divide you up with the BLM, the Antifa, the Occupies, and the list just keeps going on.
And it just goes on and on and on. And you cannot tell me, that you're a peaceful liberal if you stand by and do nothing. If you consider yourself to be a liberal-minded American, but yet you don't stand up against these forces that are attempting to cause violence, to harm people, you cannot be a good, peaceful liberal until you stand up to those folks.
Absolutely. I like the video that was on Facebook the other day. Did you see the guy attack the peaceful conservatives in the middle of the street? One of the Antifa had like a crowbar or something, and he went up to hit the guy, and he cold cocked the other guy. The conservative just cold cocked one.
You see these videos all the time.
Yeah.
You see these things all the time.
They finally got fed up. I mean, there was.
And like another thing, too.
12 against 2.
Does this go both ways? I mean, I'm so sick of hearing, well, the Republicans do it, too, because it's just not true. Conservatives do not call for violence against liberals.
No.
We will defend ourselves. Now, don't get me wrong. We will defend ourselves. Don't get in my face or Larry's or any conservative. I don't care if you want to have your little protest and carry your little sign.
Away from my nose.
Yeah, but you get up in my face. Don't mess with us because we got guns. We got guns. Not to wage war, folks. We have guns to preserve the peace.
Absolutely. That's what we used them for in Louisiana.
Well, exactly right.
One of the first states where, somebody came onto your property. They didn't have to come into your house. They just come on your property. And you felt like your life was threatened. Boom, shoot them. Drop them right there on your property.
You got to do what it takes.
In your house.
You got to protect yourself and your family. And you got to protect your property.
Yeah.
Don't forget, property was originally in place of pursuit of happiness.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
remember in the Declaration of Independence.
I sure do.
And Eric Golub goes on to write about Charlottesville, and we would like to remind everybody that these were leftists that were at an alt-right, whatever that means, rally. And it's horrible that that woman was killed and that people were harmed. They shouldn't have been. But they were getting in people's faces. Mm-hmm. And that will undoubtedly cause problems. You mentioned Black Lives Matter, the Occuturd movement. There was now the resistance movement. How about the Code Pink gals? Or the vagina hat gals?
The nasty women.
The nasty women.
Yeah.
Nasty. Is that what you want to be known as? You want to be known as a nasty
You saw
woman?
the meme where, what's her face? That you're going to get it was Feinstein with Trump underneath. Please don't make it a nude. You're about ready to get a nasty. You want to see some nasty women?
It's funny. I read today that a lot of these liberals, and there was one in particular somewhere, some college professor someplace back east, who was encouraging everyone to not celebrate the 4th of July, not celebrate Independence Day, because this is such a rotten, lousy country.
Yeah, for about 62 million of them.
Yeah. I mean, you have to respect other people's opinions, and I try to do that. I am a very tolerant. You've known me for years.
I do too. Yeah.
I'm a very tolerant person, considering what I have to put up with,
right?
and what anyone does. The heart
overly tolerant
sometimes. The heart of America,
yeah,
that's true. The heart of this country is what? The rule of law.
Supposed to be.
It's supposed to be. The heart of liberalism seems to be breaking those laws.
Right.
It seems to me that the liberal that if they don't like the laws, they're not going to obey them. If they don't like the the law against harassing people in the street. They're going to do it anyway.
Laws for thee, laws for me.
But you know what it is, Larry? They think that they're righteous. They think they're doing something righteous.
Yeah. And how
I
wrong
really believe,
they are.
I know, but I really believe that they think this. I really believe these Antifas, and these aren't the old school Democrats we're talking about here.
No, look who they just elected in New York.
Look. Speaking of elections, how about the election in Mexico? The president of Mexico.
There's another one. They'll be at war with those people in a couple of years.
You know what's going to happen now, because socialism is going to fail in Mexico.
Oh, it is.
And people will flee Mexico even more.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll come to the United States, and guess what they'll vote for?
Socialism.
Go figure. How does that work out? There is no constitutional grounds protecting your right to get in somebody else's face. If you want to protest and stand on the street corner with your stupid signs, I say go for it. That's what makes this country great, is our freedom to speak out, whether it's against our government or against a certain lifestyle, perhaps. There are people down here and outside of an abortion clinic here downtown in Bakersfield.
I've seen them.
And they're very peaceful folks.
Yep.
They set up their booth and they hand out materials, pamphlets and things like that. And they're protesting abortion.
Right.
But they're peaceful and they're not getting in anybody's face. They're just not. I mean, I don't believe there was ever a time when that was acceptable by conservatives. And as far as Roe versus Wade is concerned, this is becoming the big deal now for the selection of a
Supreme Court justice.
Well,
right.
they're gonna. It doesn't matter.
Stroke.
It doesn't matter whatever this person says, male or female, he or she who gets nominated.
Yeah.
There's nothing they can say that is ever going to change the minds of the liberals in the Senate. It's just not going to happen.
Nope.
And you can say, well, Roe v. Wade is settled law. It may be wrong. I don't see anything in the 14th Amendment that could possibly justify the death of children in the womb, but it is settled law, right?
Until we get a new justice, I would think.
Well,
the same thing for same-sex marriage. I think you get another conservative justice in there where it goes 5-4 or perhaps 6-3.
Exactly right.
They can change it, and that's what Democrats are so worried about right now. Voter ID is the other one. They're all, no, we got a Supreme Court justice in there. They're going to say, okay, everybody's got to have an ID.
They're all going to. It doesn't matter. The guy or gal who Trump nominates could come out and say, "I'm against voter ID. I am pro a choice." They go right down the list, and they're still going to be opposed.
Yeah, no,
it really doesn't matter.
Simply hate for hate.
Well, yeah, it's not. It's nothing. None of this is based on actual theory.
Yeah.
This is all based on feelings. They don't like Donald Trump, therefore he should be impeached. They don't like Donald Trump, therefore we're not going to allow him to appoint a Supreme Court justice in place of Kennedy. We're gonna resist. Well, the funny thing is, we don't need you. We got the votes. We don't need you.
We got 51.
Exactly.
By golly, that Harry Reid put in.
And exactly right. So this is funny because it comes back to bite them in the butt.
Yeah, it does.
They do these things without any thought whatsoever to what the future might bring to them.
Yeah.
When they throw these nuclear bombs inside of the Senate or the Congress.
Yeah.
And so we're doing this show today. I'll tell you how this happened, folks. I sent a rather nasty email.
This is a good story. I like this story.
I sent a nasty email. Actually, it wasn't an email. It was a Facebook message to private message to. Well, I didn't know who it was. To be honest, I knew, but I didn't know. Anyway, the Facebook page is called Valley Voice, and they were they had a video just tearing into poor old Ralph Bailey.
Yeah.
Poor old Ralph.
Poor Ralph.
Poor Ralph. And they were tearing into him and saying he was suspended or something like this. And I just felt like, if you don't like the Ralph Bailey Show on KERN, don't listen.
Couldn't agree
If you don't
more.
like what we're doing here right now,
don't
watch.
turn it off.
Turn it off. Go away.
I don't care.
Captain Kangaroo, one of my favorite quotes. When he was asked about television programming in the 1960s and children's programming, things like that. And he said, you know what? You got two knobs on that television. One turns it off and on, and the other changes the channel.
Even back then.
So I'll tell you the rest of this story, how I ended up here today, right after these messages. This is Current Cast. I'm Jazz McKay, and that's Larry.
I'm not.
Your home is perfect. Until it's not. We understand that life has its changes. As your family grows, we're here to help grow with you. Because taking care of your family is important to you and important to us. Your story starts here with Cornerstone Mortgage.
At the time you were arrested, you were served with a DS-367 temporary driver's license. It's good for 30 days, but if you don't act within 10 days, at the end of those 30 days, your license will be suspended. It's important for your lawyer to contact the DMV for you. Set up a driver's license administrative hearing so that your license does not go into suspension. That's something here at Braemar Law we do for you.
I choose Patriot Bail Bonds.
We choose Patriot Bail Bonds.
We choose Patriot Bail Bonds.
If the best criminal attorneys choose Patriot Bail Bonds, who would you choose?
Patriot Bail Bonds. We fight for your freedom.
Patriot Bail Bonds has the best customer service in Bakersfield. Patriot has more 5-star ratings than any bail company in Kern County. Plus, we're fast and affordable. If you run into the law, make Patriot Bail Bonds your first call. That's right, one call, that's all.
If you're in jail, call Patriot Bail.
Howdy, 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 howdy. Yo, what's up?
Sup?
It's your old buddy Jazz McKay with Lugnut Larry here on Current Cast this afternoon.
Just happened to be walking
he
by.
He was coming by, riding his panhead chopper down the street, and I waved at him, and he pulled in and said, "What the heck are you doing?" I said, "I don't know. I got invited to do this, and it all started last week when I saw this Valley Voice website or Facebook page."
Oh yeah, we're getting that.
And well, actually, you sent me the video in message form,
I sure
in a
did.
Facebook message.
Yeah, I said, man, they're trying to,
and they're going after poor old Ralph
trying
Bailey.
to tear down another one.
Poor old Ralph, and so there were a couple of more.
Yeah,
the puppet shows. I got to admit that was creative, but
it was.
Still, there were comments on that puppet show video that I think appeared on another website. But anyway, the fact is, I got kind of a little perturbed, and I thought,
I could about imagine.
Leave the guy alone.
Please.
I mean, if you don't like Ralph's show,
Yeah.
don't listen. But why do you want to affect someone's livelihood?
Exactly.
Just to make yourself feel better? Well,
Be the big man.
so I sent a message to Valley Voice.
Yeah.
And I was kind of a pissy little bitch, if you know what I mean. Pardon the language.
Can you say that?
But I said something.
Right.
Internet, yeah,
We can say that.
Oh, this guy said we could say anything.
Well,
Fudge!
so I wrote. I said, what's this attacking old Ralph for? Come on, man. If you don't like a show, don't listen. And he shoots back a comment. It was very nice, and I shot back another comment, and I started getting more pissed off, and then I started calming down, And I said, TJ, just cut the crap, will you? I didn't know for sure it was TJ Esposito. I didn't know for sure that it was TJ, but I had a feeling it was. And sure enough, it was. And he said, well, here's my phone number. Call me. Yeah. And so I got on the phone, and I called TJ, and we had a nice conversation. Wow. And he just said point blank, he said, I would love to have you come in and host one of our shows on Kerncast. And I said, well, I'll think about it.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I think it was Monday, he texted me 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. So, have you thought about it?
You're up at that hour in the morning.
And I said, no, the timestamp on the message. I didn't get up until...
Yeah, I got it at 3 o'clock this afternoon, but...
Look, I'm unemployed. I get up at the crack of noon.
Retired. What do you got to get up for?
Get up at the crack of noon.
The dog, yeah.
Well, so yeah. Sophie will be in there pawing at me.
Don't let me do this to you, man. Keep going.
So he says, well, are you? Have you thought about it? What do you think about doing a show on Kerncast? And I said, you know what? I think I'm up. I think I'm up for it.
Yeah.
I think I would like to give it a shot.
Give it the old college try. Yeah.
And I said, I don't know what this proves. Either Kerncast is really desperate, or I am. One of the two, and perhaps both. To be perfectly honest, I think
I, for one, am desperate. I'll do anything within reason for money.
For a buck. He'll do it for a dollar.
Within reason. There is a disclaimer on it.
Give him $1 and he'll...
I'll tap dance for you.
There you go.
There you go.
In a monkey suit?
Whatever you want, man. You got that buck?
And so immediately on Monday, I call this guy. I said, Larry, you want to do this with me on Wednesday? TJ had invited me to come on Wednesday. And he ran a little promo there on the Kerncast Facebook page. And Larry immediately said, yeah, absolutely, I'll be right there. And
just as I said.
So he posted this picture of me from one of the Tea Party rallies, 10 years ago or so. Oh, man, the comments.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, the comments.
Wasn't it great? Kind of like the comments we're getting now.
Probably some of the comments that we're getting right at this moment. What's he doing on there? What's he doing on there? Get him off of there. My God, that racist, that bigot. You know, I'm not a racist. I slipped up, and I keep hitting the mic stand. I don't know if that's making any noise. But you know, I said something stupid. I apologize for it. I'm sorry, all right? I really am. And I know that it hurt some people deeply. I understand that. And I apologize for that. And I have apologized, not only on Facebook, but also to the newspaper that shall remain nameless, and the fine folks at Channel 17.
Everybody that picked it up.
Yep.
And ran with it.
The only one I haven't reached out to or talked to was Channel 23. Mm-hmm. And... well, there's a reason for that, but we won't get into it right now. There's a reason for that, but I don't want to talk about it. Hey, Mike Hart, I love you, brother. I love you, Mike Hart. Man, what a great guy. So anyway, I did what I did. There's nothing I can't take it back.
No.
You know, there's no.
It's water under the bridge.
Well, you would think so.
Yeah.
You would think so.
Let it go.
But you know, the weird part is that I got a chance to read the letter that the Alpha executives sent to the EDD, okay?
Yeah.
And the letter had virtually maybe only about 20% reality, and the rest of it was fabricated.
This could be a teachable moment.
They claimed that I was harassing a former employee of KNZR. And I said, what? I'm reading through this thing, and apparently I was terminated because I was harassing somebody at work. Now, Larry, who the hell?
I was only there for 9 months. I didn't see not one instance of you harassing anybody.
In fact, just the opposite was actually true.
Yeah.
There was a
Actually,
former
I'm so
employee.
cute, you should have been harassing me.
I thought that was very, very interesting. So somebody had claimed that I was harassing them in that video that I filmed in my car on January 18th when I was inebriated slightly. And but nothing could be further from the truth. All I was pointing out, and in a very inarticulate way, I'll admit, was the number of Hispanic-speaking radio stations in Kern County, which, by statistics, if anyone knows anything about media, represents 80% of the radio signals.
Absolutely. Used to work for them.
Yep, there you go. And these are major corporations.
Absolutely. A lot of them are.
Yeah.
There are a couple of mom and pops out
there. A couple of mom and pop stations, but Larry, the vast majority of the signals coming in here,
oh yeah,
even if they're not from Kern County, they have signals that boom in.
Yeah.
You tune your dial around on the radio, and that's what you're going to find. And I'm bothered by that. I'm bothered by a lot of things. You probably know, but that was something that I was trying to address. That
you once coined the term. We were grumpy old men.
We were grumpy.
Yeah, we're still grumpy.
And we're still grumpy, brother. Believe me. But anyway, I wanted to also say this because I haven't had an opportunity other than on my Facebook page. Do not blame the local KNZR management for what happened to me. This was a decision made, of all places, Portland, Oregon. Had absolutely nothing to do with any decisions made by the local management. And I spoke with Mary Lou not long after, and she was saying how that she was getting death threats. So over a radio host? You're getting death threats?
Wow.
And I was bothered by that. And people were apparently writing her some nasty emails. And so that's when I addressed it on my Facebook page, and I said, do not blame her. Do not blame the local management at all, or anybody else that's still employed over there, because, they're good people. They just, when corporate tells you to jump, you ask how high. And that's what happened.
I just wonder about the listeners you have on your show, Jazz, that they would call up and give her a death threat.
You gotta wonder about that.
Yeah, I wonder about that.
Well, be perfectly honest with you, I doubt there were really death threats.
Yeah.
But there were probably
some nasty
angry
stuff.
people saying some pretty nasty things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you had a big show, you had a huge audience, you dominated the market. What did you expect? What did you expect?
We were
constantly piss some people off.
We were constantly top 3.
Yeah.
We jockeyed between, I think it was KUZZ, Hot 97, and KNZR. It was kind of some days, some months we'd be number one, some months we'd be number 2.
Here's one thing that Mary Lou let you know, and I was sitting right there.
Right.
You had a super huge Hispanic listening audience.
That's true.
And it was more amazing. You had 18 to 25s in there listening as well. Your show is 25 to death, really.
Yeah.
But if you've got niches of 18 to 25 Hispanics.
Larry's talking about the demographics, and the ratings.
Yeah.
And we did have we had a huge Hispanic listening market. And in that younger age group. And honestly, I think part of the reason we had so many younger people was because of the fact that I said whatever the hell was on my mind.
You still do.
I don't mince words.
Yeah. Well, that's what I've always appreciated about this show. I was listening there when you had, before Puck. I was listening for Preston with the little girl.
Caroline.
Yeah. That's when I started listening to Jazz McKay show, and then I listened all the way
12 years ago.
Through Puck. And then Chris Squires, and then you got Chad and I.
Yeah, we had Preston Nash. Yeah. God, I miss Preston. He and his wife, they moved to Indianapolis here.
Another godforsaken
10 years ago or someplace like that. And but you know what? Through all those years that I did the show on KNZR, it was always fun.
Yeah.
It was always exciting.
Well, that's why I wanted to come work for you, because I said, this is going to be great.
I wish to God I'd hired you earlier, but because I'd probably still be there.
Really in, Jazz. Really in, man. Come on, man.
But yeah, Larry keeps me in line.
Sort of. Yeah.
As best
until we get the lion, and then all bets are off. We've been in radio a long time.
Yeah.
You know?
When did you start in the radio
Oh my goodness
broadcastical
gracious!
business?
I'm thinking 1974 or 5, right around
Yeah, that's
there.
about the same time I did.
Yeah.
I was living in Houston, and there was a little listener-sponsored hippie radio station back there called KPFT. It's part of the Pacifica Foundation of radio.
Remember them?
Yeah, KPFA, I think, is in Berkeley, and but they had a chain of them around the country. I think probably 25, 30 of these radio stations. And I mean, this was a station where half the time the jocks were stoned, and they would actually smoke on the air.
That's so odd.
It was so odd
Yeah,
for
back in the 70s,
in 1974,
totally
75.
unexpected, yeah.
Who would have guessed a bunch of hippies smoking weed on the radio, you know?
Or a sales manager that comes in and takes pictures off the wall and here, man, let me draw this up for you. Thanks. I digress.
I was gonna say something, but I think I'll avoid it.
That's a true story, though.
Well, you know, my first job over there at KPFT in Houston was emptying trash cans, and then somebody taught me how to cue a record.
Uh-oh.
You know,
Beginning of the end. Yep.
And that was it. I was the go-to guy whenever a producer wouldn't show up or host. They'd throw me in there. Just don't talk. Because I'm only like 17 years old. I got a voice like this at that time.
You know, mine was like that too.
With a very thick Texas drawl.
Maybe I had that Cajun accent.
You got the Cajun thing going in my chef.
We was real young then.
So one night, I get a phone call, or one afternoon, it was a Saturday afternoon, and they asked me to come down and sub for a producer who wasn't going to be able to make it. And it was producing the Jerry Jeff Walker radio show on KPFT. You know Jerry Jeff Walker?
I've heard of him.
Yeah. He wrote Mr. Bojangles was his biggest
That
hit.
was his big one, yes.
Big
it
hit.
was.
And then, of course, he's still performing today and just writes great
LA
songs.
Freeway is another
LA
huge.
Freeway was another
Sangria
big
Wine
one.
was another great one that he had done.
I was like this. You know, I'm 17 years old. Jerry Jeff Walker. Up against the wall, Redneck Mother. I love that guy. You know? And I'm shaking like this, and I go out and get my dad's station wagon, which I was driving at that time, and drove down there to Montrose, where the station was located. Went in, and he doesn't show. So I'm sitting there playing records, segueing records, and finally he shows up with some drunk chick, and set back. I was in awe. This was one of my absolute country music idols at the time, was Jerry Jeff.
He was big all over the South.
And that was an exciting moment for me, and that's when it really hit. You know, when I wanted to do radio.
Yeah.
And he was as inebriated as he was very entertaining that night, and I had a blast sitting there with him. And I just decided, if this is what radio is, I want to do this. This is going to be fun.
Okay, well, I'm bringing vodka next show. We'll get this party started.
Oh man, I was reflecting here recently over the past 40 plus years that I've been doing this and doing nothing else. And it dawned on me once I got fired this time, I don't know how to do anything. I can't find another job somewhere.
That's just it.
Yeah. Because I don't do anything else. That's why I'm here doing this. Hey, because we're having fun. And Goose tells me that we're going to take another break, and we'll be right back with more. This is Curtancast. I'm Jazz. That's Larry.
At the time you were arrested, you were served with a DS-367 temporary driver's license. It's good for 30 days, but if you don't act within 10 days, at the end of those 30 days, your license will be suspended. It's important for your lawyer to contact the DMV for you. Set up a driver's license administrative hearing so that your license does not go into suspension. That's something here at Bramer Law we do for you.
Your home is perfect. Until it's not. We understand that life has its changes. As your family grows, we're here to help grow with you. Because taking care of your family is important to you and important to us. Your story starts here with Cornerstone Mortgage.
Introducing the new California State Penitentiary Bologna Sandwich. Jail food sucks. Don't let your family eat jail food.
Well, you made it back in time. I was kind of surprised there. Larry jumped up and ran out of the studio.
This is the most amazing place, the Bakersfield Music Hall of Fame.
Right? Is that where we're at?
Look at the size of the Kleenex they put in the bathroom for you to blow your nose, man.
Why do that to me?
This is first class all the way. You can blow your nose for days.
Kyle Carter, we love you, man.
You're killing me, Larry. You're killing me.
Goose is producing today. Goose, the producer. Now, are we on live right now?
Yeah, you're on live right now.
Okay.
Are there? How does this work? People comment or people write?
People have been commenting on the Facebook page, and so I've been reading a lot of different comments. A lot of people are saying, "Hey, it's good to see you back. We've missed you.
Oh, bless your hearts.
You're going to stay here a while." One person wants you and TJ to have a daily show, which will be interesting.
The Daily Show on
Daily
on Kerncast.
I've been a student of media, worked in radio, and studied politics and journalism for over 20 years. I've noticed that my views bar me from any real media jobs, even as a club hip-hop DJ.
Wow.
That's Will Henry is talking about this. One gal said that she wears, as I'm going away, I'm going to have my MJ medication to continue watching this.
Excellent. Man. I like that.
There you go.
Best way to watch ever.
I'm all in favor. Let's talk about that for a minute. When is it going to be legal?
I thought it was.
I thought it was too. Goose, do you know?
Yeah, do you know?
When Mary Jane is legal age?
You know what? I don't know.
My daughter, I'll tell you this, my daughter's up in Eureka, and she said, man, people just walk in the shop with a driver's license and get it up there.
I thought that we legalized it for recreational purposes.
Not here in Kern County, though. It hadn't.
Not here in Kern?
No, it's kind of like a dry county right now. The city. The county, it's okay.
Okay, because in the Dale, you've got pot shops every 15 feet.
County, yeah.
I'm telling you, I was driving down Chester one day last year, and I counted 9. Now that's not counting the evaluations where the doctor is on a TV screen in Los Angeles or something and gives you the pot card. But I counted 9 of them. How do they make a How do they make a living with that kind of competition? Or are they all owned by one guy? Do you know?
And that is kind of the controversy of what I'm hearing from the Board of Supervisors is that apparently there are some people who own multiple shops.
Right.
And some, I guess, who own just a couple. And I don't know how, I've never gone into one of those shops. I have my own.
You have your own system?
I have my own connection.
Yeah.
Which I'm not going to give out over the air.
I never touch the stuff.
Down on you.
I never touch the stuff, trust me.
But I will tell you, he makes the best moonshine I've ever had.
Slightly infused with THC.
Well, I tried this. A Facebook friend of mine gave me some homemade CBD oil. I have serious pain in my left ankle. Larry has watched me walk down the hallway.
It's not a pretty
picture. It's not a pretty picture,
no.
folks. But I used that stuff, and it worked. Mm-hmm. It's temporary, right? But it actually
it's
worked.
like an aspirin. An aspirin's not permanent.
That's
Any
not
drug's
yeah,
not permanent.
But it just, I've said for years that I don't believe in medical marijuana. Mm-hmm. But I gotta say, I don't know about all these. They get the edible things now, and I don't know what smoking marijuana does other than make you cough and want to eat Twinkies. But to be perfectly honest, that CBD oil thing actually works. I take back whatever I may have said about medical marijuana, at least as far as the CBD oil. But there's no THC in that, right?
Right.
I don't think there, or
No,
it's
there
very
isn't.
limited.
Yeah.
Because they sell it at Lassen's. They're selling it in grocery stores now. But I thought it was going to be legal for recreational purposes. That was a statewide. Didn't we vote on that? We did.
We
right?
did, yeah. We voted
Last
to
year.
legalize it, yeah.
When does that take place?
I don't know.
You know, because the way I've always looked at it is this. I don't have a lot of faith in it. Never really had a lot of faith in the medical marijuana concept. I said, look, come back and let's talk about this when you want to talk about the real reason you want medical marijuana is so you can get high. It has nothing to do with
A lot of them do, yeah.
the vast majority of them, I think.
But there's a lot of them that it does help, and I've seen
see-
that myself. THC and CBD. I've seen them help both pain patients. I was talking to a guy yesterday at the Crest. I had to go deliver him food. He opens the door, and of course I say, it's me, it's Ernest T. I've got the food. You know? So I hand him his food. He says,
Jim Varney. A Jim Varney reference. So you handed him his food.
Handed him his food. He
and
said, man, that smells great. And I said, smells pretty good at home, too. He said, well, I've been through about 9 back surgeries and didn't want to do the Oxycontin and the Norcos and everything else. So I said, hey look, I've got no problem with it if it helps you
whatever
out, man.
works for you. I mean, let's be honest here. Marijuana, first of all, it's no more a gateway drug than Budweiser. It really isn't. I mean, if you have an addictive personality,
you're going to be addicted.
You're going to be addicted to it. And who knows, maybe, I know that I smoked pot when I was 13, 14 years old for the first time.
Yeah.
And I didn't touch anything else. I mean, I maybe drank a little bit of Annie Green Springs on a weekend or something. Or
Boone's Farm.
Boone's Farm
there
Strawberry
you go.
Hill.
Boom, boom.
But it wasn't until I was in my late 20s when I discovered this little white powdery substance called cocaine.
Yeah.
And now that, I don't know if I was addicted to pot. I don't think I was. But boy, howdy, I was addicted to that cocaine, brother.
Yeah,
but I don't think smoking pot had anything to do with my doing coke.
Yeah, you were going to try it anyway.
I absolutely would have,
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with the legalized marijuana movement right now. I think I think
federal is going to actually decriminalize it or get rid of it
I
altogether.
wouldn't be
The way they're
surprised.
moving.
Trump has made allusions to that.
Boehner is on one of the boards.
He's
now.
on the board of one of these companies.
And
Look,
Canada just legalized it.
And whether you like it or not, okay, in the words of Gavin Newsom,
whether
you like it or not, it's coming. And nobody, I understand the whole reason why you may not want a pot store down the street from your house.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've seen some pretty suspicious looking characters hanging out in front of those on Chester. I thought the idea of, who came up, was it Maggard that came up with the idea of delivery services?
Yep.
Yeah. It was Mike Maggard, right?
Yes. I didn't know. I had heard about it.
That's the rumor I've heard.
Yeah. And I think that's a great idea. Who wants to go out at 12 o'clock at night to drive to a pot store? Really? Call some 800 number and or it'll be like Uber. In fact, I wonder why Uber hasn't gotten involved in it yet. Right? They can bring you a bag of McDonald's. Why not bring you the pot to go with it?
Hey, great idea. I heard they can drive with a .04 alcohol level now. If you get .01,
really?
you're busted.
You're busted.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of the delivery service. If you need your pot, maybe
drop it by drone.
That's right. Use one of those
Amazon
drones to bring it to you. I know that's all fine and well. I mean, it is. If you want to smoke the weed or you want to rub the CBD oil on your sore ankle, or you want to eat that little jelly thingy. I've seen these little
gummy bears.
The gummy bear. That's it. Yes,
gummies.
They got gummies of this stuff.
And that's what that kind of sets me back a little bit when you're looking at a gummy. You're going, man, that's too geared to children.
That's
the packaging of it and everything. Don't do that. Don't do that.
That's true.
You got one person here who says that she uses it for pain. She suffers from the same thing your wife has, actually. Lupus, RA, and osteopenia.
Oh my God, yeah.
And,
Laura's got lupus
she says,
and RA.
I'm not going to depend on opiates.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it depends on the level of pain.
Yeah.
My wife is in a pain level, when you go to the hospital or go to a doctor's office, they'll ask you to rate your pain 1 to 10. Laura is pretty much consistently a 9.
And then there are a lot of people are wondering how they were all being delivered like by bike messenger or drones or someone said snowmobile. I don't know how that's going to work, but
Get a snow machine up in Alaska. That's probably what they do. I mean, they legalized it in Alaska, didn't they?
Well, for sure in Colorado they can use it up in the Rockies.
That's true,
yeah.
Well, I like the idea of the. Some people are really anti Mike Maggart for this, but I don't know why. Why would you be anti Mike Maggart? He makes. I mean, from what I know, it makes perfect sense to me to have somebody deliver it to you rather than have to go out and hunt down one of these pot stores. And it's a great solution to some folks out there just don't want these pot stores in their neighborhood, and I can totally identify with that. I wouldn't want one of these.
Yeah. Some people worry about the delivery guy. What happens from the store to your home?
Well, they're
yeah. But if they're bonded or whatever by the city or the county, then they'd have to.
But you can't be drug tested.
Yeah,
you can't.
No.
Because the drug testing, I mean, marijuana stays in your system for 30 days.
Or longer. It stays in your fat cells forever. It'll stay in your hair follicles for a long... They'll find that cocaine you did when you were 13 in your hair follicles.
Yeah, I used to actually deliver medication for a pharmacy up in the Bay Area. And I had to deliver morphine to some places, and you had to actually sign a piece of paperwork that was required for them to get their morphine. I'm thinking, why not do the same thing here? You could do the same thing here.
Well, exactly. I think it's a perfectly logical solution to having the pot store in your neighborhood. People don't want that because there are some strange. I have nothing against the people running the pot stores. I've met a couple of these guys. They're nice. They're nice fellas.
Very nice people.
They're good people. But you never know who's a weird looking guy sitting out there on in front of the store on a sidewalk someplace. And would you rather have someone come to your door and sell you the stuff, or would you rather go stumble over some derelict drug addict in the middle of the street to try and get inside their local pot vendor?
Man, that Oildale, man, that's one hell of a place.
It's straight out. Like I said, 9 pots.
That many people hanging out in front of a pot shop.
Well, I just don't understand it. There's, I go to Northchester Pharmacy. Brock is the owner of Northchester.
Yeah.
Very nice guy. He's been a good friend of mine for years. There's a pot store right next door to his pharmacy, and then on the other side of that one is another one. They're next door to each other.
Somebody needs to put a donut shop right next to the place.
Bakery.
Oh man, you can smell that in the morning. Isn't that the best smell ever, man? Is this about 5:30 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning? They start frying up them donuts.
Oh man.
Oh buddy, I tell you what.
Mug of
that
coffee.
Airport Drive.
Right there.
You know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's not far
Used to be
from,
Yum Yum Donuts. Yeah. Now it's the Airport Drive Donut Shop. And man, you walk in there.
That's a seasoned place, man.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, man, they cannot make a bad donut there. Cannot.
Now there's a story that broke today from the Washington Times, and says that California separatists, declared Independence Day, July 4th, stand up against American Occupation Day. Now, when I first saw this, thinking of California separatists, what do you think? I think of the splitting California 3 ways,
right.
Yeah. But according to this article from the Washington Times, while other Americans are celebrating the holiday with picnics and parades, California secessionists are taking Independence Day literally. It's called Yes California Independence Campaign. That's known as Cal Exit. And these are a bunch of kooks who want to secede California from the United States. Now, it's one thing to divide the state into 2 or 3 different states, but to actually claim that they want America out of California, I think America would probably agree.
They
Don't
would
you?
love that. Yeah,
I think the rest of the country and the other.
Yeah, this is a laughing stock of the nation here in New York. You know, more so here with the stupid laws that they keep coming up with. You know,
yeah, but they want California to become its own country. Do you have any idea how much further in the sinkhole we will dip in the state of California if that becomes law? Would they? Here's a question: would the country of California have an army?
What would they be throwing? Because they certainly won't be shooting.
Would they have an air force?
I can see the flag now. It'd be a beautiful flag, multicolored.
It's actually up to Proposition 9, to vote California out of the Union. Coming up in November.
I'll be damned.
Proposition 9, aimed at making California. Oh no, wait. I'll take that back. I'm sorry. I apologize. I was misreading. Proposition 9 is the separation of Northern California, Central and Southern California.
Oh, okay,
that's on the one that's on the ballot.
Yeah.
All these other knuckleheads are too busy.
Which you know, when you look at that, it's not really a great idea, because I don't care if we do have a conservative area right here in Kern County, the San Diego, you're still going to elect what is it, 246 more liberal senators if we split up the state.
Well, that's a great point. Then the Senate completely changes.
Yeah. And then the other thing, this has all got to be federally approved.
Again, it's not going to happen.
No, it's not. I think we fought a war over this at one point.
Well, we did. We fought a war with Mexico and won. So the thing of it is, though, I love the idea. It's fun to kick it around.
Yeah.
But there's no way it's gonna pass Congress.
Yeah.
It's just not going to.
Well, the amazing thing is that it just made the ballot. There are that many people that are serious and actually want to do this.
About Jefferson.
Yeah.
Jefferson was the original name of the Northern California. Was it Northern? Yeah, Northern California was the state of Jefferson. I'm old. I actually read Reader's Digest. And there's an article in this month's Reader's Digest about all the states that never came to be.
Wow.
There was like 10 or 12 states that
the state of Jefferson.
Never
I think
happened.
I remember that.
Yeah, the state of Jefferson is the one in Northern California.
And then we really had California too.
Yeah. But
kept that up, we could have got the 57.
We could eventually have the 57 Obama dreamed about. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. This is Jazz McKay, and this is Kerncast.
At the time you were arrested, you were served with a DS-367 temporary driver's license. It's good for 30 days, but if you don't act within 10 days, at the end of those 30 days, your license will be suspended. It's important for your lawyer to contact the DMV for you. Set up a driver's license administrative hearing so that your license does not go into suspension. That's something here at Braemar Law we do for you.
Patriot Bail Bonds has the best customer service in Bakersfield. Patriot has more 5-star ratings than any bail company in Kern County. Plus, we're fast and affordable. If you run into the law, make Patriot Bail Bonds your first call. That's right, one call, that's all.
If you're in jail, call Patriot Bail.
Yeah, buddy, we're back here at Kerncast Studios. We are live and also on tape. This is the main studio, Studio A, and over there is Studio B, Larry, and you just came back from Studio P.
You're absolutely right. Thanks for telling everybody. It was a nice little walk.
It's all that beer.
Yeah.
All that beer.
Well, actually, bad day to quit sniffing glue.
It's funny because somebody during Kelly's show had asked a question: Is Jazz really drunk? He looks like he's drunk.
He is, man. I'm getting loaded just sitting here next to him. Yeah, man.
Now tell me about what did we just listen to? What commercials did we just have there?
We had Mr. Bremer, who is a attorney.
Cool.
Bremer Law.
Bremer Law. We had a ad for, as I'm looking back on this, Patriot Bail Bonds, and then we had a Kerncast
promo.
Blue Sky Media promo.
Oh, that's so good. I've seen that.
Blue Sky is amazing. Have you seen their videos? Oh my God.
I have.
He does some amazing work. I don't know who puts all that together, but
it's TJ's company. I believe.
It is his company. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing of it is, people, when we go to a commercial break here, it's just like being on the radio. You stick around through the commercial break.
Well, yeah, you should.
Unless it's a really annoying commercial. Yeah, see,
Right.
now me. Okay, here's the thing. All right, can I be honest now that I'm not on broadcast radio? There was a car dealership that was advertising for years. They're from Southern California, but I think they have an outlet here. And this car dealership, the commercials, first of all, they were just god awful. It was like fake actualities. People with the EQ tuned so it sounded like they were on the phone. I shop for my car at so and so's Motors.
Everybody talks like that. Everybody.
Well, the one that got me was the British gal.
Yeah.
My husband and I had decided we wanted a new Range Rover, so we called blah blah blah, and then the guy that was the announcer for the commercials wasn't you, Goose, was it?
Oh God, no. I can do very good voices, but I sometimes just don't. I have a reputation to protect.
To protect your reputation. See,
I'm giving it all she can, Captain.
I've shoved a wiener in the warp drive, Captain.
It's got gas.
I've given it all again.
It's got gas.
So it wasn't just that. I mean, the fake phone call voices, saying, "Oh yeah, yes, I had to buy a new car. I called blah 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 blah," but it was the announcer himself. Oh my God, that was cringing. You talk about fingernails on a blackboard. But because when and back in February, I completely stopped listening to any radio at all.
I remember that.
And
I knew you were gone. I could tell.
Yeah, I wasn't listening.
I said, he's not listening.
I was listening to in my car? Silence, for a change. And I noticed that because I started listening again to KCWR, the classic country station.
Great radio
station, really. And that now that I hear this, Paul blah 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 commercial. And what? What did I say?
What did he say?
What did I do?
Paul blah blah blah.
Well, yeah.
And I know exactly who you're talking about.
Oh no, you can't know. Just from blah blah blah. You know
blah,
that?
blah, yeah.
Blah blah blah. I can't believe that.
Blah 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 blah. Well, this guy's voice was awful, and I started listening to KCW in early March, I think it was. Back listening to radio again in the car, and they've revamped the commercials, and they sound great. Have you heard them? They got a real announcer on that commercial now. You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, there was that one, and then another commercial that I had to change the channel on. In fact, I did it coming here today. You know what I'm talking about?
Knocks a trill.
You know me, but you don't know me.
Right.
We see each other every day. We ride up in the elevator together.
That made sense when it was for 9/11, but it doesn't make sense for a commercial.
He's going on about how he's got a job.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we work in the same building, and I've told you all my stories. But one thing you don't know about me, I'm hungry. I'm freaking hungry. I'm starving to death. I need a Wiener Schnitzel.
Give me a damn French fry.
That commercial is so. I mean, wait a minute. There are real hungry people in the freaking world. Real hungry people.
Really?
Like me right now.
Yeah. Hadn't ate all day.
I haven't eaten all day. Look at him, starving. I'm starving to death here.
Yeah.
Somebody
Give it some of your sandwich, Gooch.
That's another one. And that one is still on. And every time it comes on, I have to turn the radio off. I can't listen to it.
That's the power of bad radio
advertising. But the commercials they play here are pretty good, and we support them.
Yes.
This is Independence Day. This is the 4th of July, depending. Larry calls it Independence Day. Goose calls it Independence Day. I slip and say 4th of July because I'm just so conditioned to it.
Well, everybody is. It was a marketing plan to get you to stop saying independence.
Independence. Because God knows we don't want to be independent.
No, we don't even want people to read the Declaration of Independence.
Are you proud of your country?
Yes, I am.
Do you love your country?
I love my country.
Are you extremely proud to be an American?
I am.
1/3 of Democrats are. Only 1/3 of Democrats are extremely proud of their country. According to the Daily Caller, less than 1/3 of Democrats consider themselves extremely proud to be Americans.
I've got friends in Florida, libtards.
Yep.
Exactly
the same way.
Yep.
Exactly the same. Only 32% of Democrats rated themselves as extremely proud. Now, 2 years ago, when Barack Hussein Obama was president, they were probably extremely proud of their country.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Well, she was blaring off about how good Obamacare was. She was. Where in Florida do you
live?
Yeah.
Where's Obamacare great? You know, they came after, Laura has Kern Family Health is her insurance company. And at one point, for some reason, she got kicked off. This was a couple of years ago. And she's kicked off, and she's got nothing. So I went to Elizabeth, who is our HR person there at work, and asked her, how much is it going to be to put Laura onto my insurance through United Healthcare.
Holy cow.
And it was like $900.
A month.
That's about half of what my salary was. $900 a month. Well, what about covered California? Shakespeare's Parishes. Yeah, no, you're not going to want that. If $900 is too much, it's $1,300 a month to cover my wife on Obamacare. Wait a minute, I thought it was the Affordable Care Act. What the hell?
It's affordable for some.
Affordable for who?
For who is a good question. Certainly not working stiff like you or me, right?
No, tax, nothing else.
No.
That's all Obamacare was. Tax.
Well, they've got, that's all it was.
Goodbye, Kennedy. Thank you, Kennedy.
Thank you, Justice Kennedy. We appreciate it so much. I don't know. I just, I don't know how people continue to vote for these idiots.
It's amazing. That is amazing.
How does
people keep voting
Maxine
for
Waters keep getting reawaelected?
And not even in her own damn district. She lives outside of her district. Did you see when she was calling for people to hurt people?
Yeah.
All white people. There were no blacks in there.
And what about Sheila Jackson Lee? That's another one.
What the rodeo clown.
My sister still lives in Houston, and she says the other day on her Facebook page, my God, what are we going to do about Sheila Jackson? Apparently, we are not hearing what Sheila Jackson Lee is saying because we're too busy listening to Maxine Waters. But Sheila Jackson Lee has been saying the same kind of thing in Houston. It's getting coverage in the Houston media.
Good television then. Where's the damn media on this?
So what are your plans, Larry, after you leave here?
After I leave here, I am going to go and buy a couple of plates of barbecue.
You're not going to do it yourself?
No. I thought about it and I said, nah, it'd probably be easier to buy it. Well, my daughter and my grandson are up in Eureka, California with the baby daddy selling phone book ads. And it's just me and my wife there. So I said, well, I could go out and buy, 2 chickens and a rack of ribs and have food for days and not feed anybody but us. And it would go bad sooner or later. So unless you want me to do that, come over and feed you.
You could drop by.
By God, you look like you are starving.
I'm starving to death right now. I've got a package of Nathan's at home. Just call my name.
Yeah.
I got a package of Nathan. Man, Nathan's dogs are just about the best, man.
They are.
They are so good. As a matter of fact, we were talking about Puck earlier. one of my favorite stories about Puck was he did like, oh no, ballpark. Oscar Mayer, no, I'm not buying. Those Nathans are $7 a pack. I said, trust me, they're worth it. And Puck would not, under any no way, no how. So one day I brought him a pack. It was on a 4th of July at that time. I brought him a package of Nathans. I said, try them. Next day he comes back into work and says, yeah, I went to the store and bought more.
That'll happen.
I don't know what they put in there. It's like crack. It's addictive as hell. It is addictive as hell.
Hey, Jess?
Yes, sir.
You've got a question.
Oh, good. We have a question.
We have a question.
We have
And
answers.
Your question is, who did you vote for governor, and what do you think of Stephen Bailey for AG?
I'm all in favor of Stephen Bailey. I don't know about the governor. I voted for Cox. I got to be honest with you. I wasn't a fan of his, and I still am not. But Gavin Newsom, we need somebody that's going to be able to get in there and whoop ass. Although I don't think he has a chance. I'll be perfectly honest with you. Gavin Newsom is our next governor.
Sadly, that's what I think too.
I'm sorry, but
and
I don't see.
I just wish somebody would send the military in here to arrest those bastards from Jerry Brown.
No kidding. The Jerry Brown thing always kind of confused me, right? He's the hippest governor ever back in the 1970s. You know, he was just the coolest guy. Him and Linda Ronstadt. Did you ever see that video of Linda Ronstadt was getting off an airplane and a reporter says, do you have any comments about Jerry Brown? She turns and looks at the camera and goes, who?
Even back
and walked off. But so he was governor. He did the 2 terms. There's only 2 terms, right, for governor? And he did that. And then he went away, which was good.
Which we thought forever.
And then all of a sudden, he pops up as the mayor, running for the mayor of Oakland.
Well, don't forget, he also tried to run for president at one point.
Oh, that's right, he did. I forgot about that. That was right after his term, second term of governor, back in the 70s. And so he becomes the mayor of Oakland. And I'm sitting there going, this guy, he doesn't need this. What the hell is he doing? Oh, I know what it is. He's going to run for governor again. There's nothing that says he can't. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, he runs for attorney general. He leaves Oakland in a mess. Mm-hmm. Could Oakland be a bigger cock-a-hole than it was under Jerry Brown?
Or a bigger endorsement for Jerry Brown to get elected.
Get him out of here. And so the whole thing was a setup. The idiots in Oakland that voted for him and the idiots in California who voted for him as AG was all just a setup for this crap we're dealing with now.
Absolutely.
Jerry Brown, or Skeletor, as I call him.
Yeah, I remember when he was governor the first time. He sucked then, he sucks now.
And, I mean, shoving this stupid train down our throats.
The train, the 55-gallon water thing that's coming up. That happens. I'm walking out of California. I don't care. I'm getting the hell out of here.
Explain that to people, because they may not be aware of what you're talking about here. This new proposal.
The new proposal for limiting people to 55 gallons of water per day, per person, per household. You can take a shower and do your laundry. You're at about 45 gallons of water. What I have read is that they're not supposed to be taxing you, the individual. They're supposed to be taxing big corporations who use the water.
The big corporations.
And those products you use.
You're going to pay for it.
You're going to pay for it.
The price is going to go up.
Right. So my water bill doubled just in the city of Bakersfield from last year.
Well, now see,
because
I live in the Dale. Goose, where do you live?
I live in the Dale. We just moved from someplace that was god awful, to go right near where North High is, where my kids go to school.
Yeah, and we have Oildale Mutual Water.
Yeah.
And I pay $41 a month, flat rate.
I pay about that too.
Yeah, flat rate. So how are they going to be able to enforce this idiotic law?
Right.
Because there's nobody keeping records of how much water I use.
And there's supposed to be $1,000 a day if you go over that. Now, who the hell is going to pay that?
The fine I heard was $2,000 a day.
And it's supposed to go up to $10,000. $1,000 it starts, $10,000 if you want to be habitual.
Thank you,
about
Jerry
it.
Brown.
Yeah, let's elect Gary Newsom so that, we can get more of this crap.
See, my worry is that it's not going to affect us, but it's going to affect the farmers.
Of
who
course-
need
Of
the
course
water.
it will, and what
If
it
people are-
affects the end user, who the
Yeah.
farmers bring it to market.
Yep.
Prices going up.
Prices are going to go through the roof. We're going to be importing more and more of our produce from Mexico as opposed to growing it right. Have you ever seen the size of an onion that they grow here in California? Up in Fresno. They're
Yeah.
The onions are this big,
I want
as
a
big
blooming
as your
onion
head.
that big.
They are as big as your head. I was living in Fresno doing a radio show on KMJ at the time, and one of my listeners happened to be an onion farmer. And he says, "Oh, I'm going to bring you some onions." And I said, "Oh, okay." Well, the next day, as I get off the elevator and walking down the hall, I could smell there's onions somewhere. And I walk around the corner into my office, and there's two like 50-pound bags of onions, and they're that big around, folks. And I asked him, I said one day when I got he called in to see if I'd gotten the onion. I said, "Yeah, I had to give them most all of them away. I don't. What do you do with an onion that big?" I said, "How come I don't see those in the stores? They got these little puny onions in the stores." He said, "Because we only sell those to high-end restaurants in Japan. They ship them overseas. We don't even get our own onions in California anymore."
Wow, sad.
It really is.
Man, onions that big. Well, there's a farm here. Did I tell you about the farm? Sells cherries to the Japanese for $1 a cherry. $1.
$1
per cherry.
That must be a damn good cherry.
Just right down the road. They're
How big are they? Are they as big as your head?
Nope. They're regular old
Regular
cherry
cherries.
with a pit in it. Yeah.
It's got a pit in it.
Yep.
$1.
Yep.
And they pay
cherry.
it.
Yep.
The Japanese.
Yes.
They're paying for it.
Yeah.
$1.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
a wholesale price.
Are you kidding me? No, that's the real price. That's
Really?
what he sells them to him for. Yeah.
My.
Been doing it ever since I got here, 13 years.
Well, you know, you can't.
Grown right for you.
You can't blame him.
If you know who that slogan belongs
Oh,
to.
yeah. Hey.
Man, incoming call, Jazz. Let's take it.
I thought I turned off my phone.
Let's go right to the phones.
Here, let me answer that for you, man.
Let's go to the phones here.
Someone wants to know if you want any onions.
What's that?
Someone wants to know if you want any onions.
No, that's right. No more onions. I had onions I only took home probably half of that shipment the guy brought and dropped me off.
Yeah.
But the God's honest truth is, I couldn't possibly have eaten that many onions. See, I don't cook. That's my problem. Man.
Well, I do.
I make chili and I do barbecue and that's it.
Uh-huh.
I don't do anything
Man,
else.
you got to make crawfish etouffees and crotons and Newburgs and Rockefellers and gumbos.
Will you come over and you cook for me?
That'll give me a couple $100.
My wife, God bless her, she says, one of these days when I can stand up long enough, because it's really tough for her to stand, she says, I'm going to come in there and I'm going to make chicken piccata. And she makes the most amazing chicken piccata. Oh, my God, with the capers and the lemon. And God, it's good.
I love that stuff.
But she knows she has not cooked in 2.5, maybe 3 years. You know, and that's one of the things that just brought her so much joy in her life.
Yeah.
She started out 13 years old, working at a pizza restaurant in Carmel, flipping the dough in the window. And ever since then, she worked in the restaurant business until the lupus got so bad that she had to go on disability. And of course, now they took away her disability, like they do, as they are wont to do.
About once every 6 months, you've got to recertify. You know, we know everything's changed in your life.
Everything is absolutely the same. We'll be right back with more of the Jazz McKay Show on Kerncast right after this.
Patriot Bail Bonds has the best customer service in Bakersfield. Patriot has more 5-star ratings than any bail company in Kern County. Plus, we're fast and affordable. If you run into the law, make Patriot Bail Bonds your first call. That's right, one call, that's all.
If you're in jail, call Patriot Bail.
At the time you were arrested, you were served with a DS-367 temporary driver's license. It's good for 30 days, but if you don't act within 10 days, at the end of those 30 days, your license will be suspended. It's important for your lawyer to contact the DMV for you. Set up a driver's license administrative hearing so that your license is not going to suspension. That's something here at Bramer Law we do for you.
Welcome back. It's Jazz McKay annoying and pissing people off as I am wont to do. Now the lineup here, Goose at Kerncast. Here, what is coming up after this fiasco is over?
After this, we have Denise Gary's 4th of July show that she actually did yesterday, and we're repeating it for today.
Oh, good.
And then after that, I'm going to be doing a short, 10-minute show. Basically, my show is I'm going to be showing a clip from the Omega Glory, which was a episode from Star Trek.
Oh,
of all things, where
are you a Trekkie?
I am now. I have friends of mine who are Trekkies, and I could never understand why.
I don't.
And people say, well, you got to watch the show. So I binge watched the show off of Netflix, and I loved it.
It was a great show.
And Captain Kirk does a speech in this episode where he discovers a world. He discovers a world where the communist Chinese beat the Americans in a nuclear war, and they are fighting, and the Americans still have a copy of the Declaration of Independence and a flag.
I don't think I've ever seen that. I've never seen that.
When I first saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to show this for the 4th of July.
Yeah.
So I'm going to record that after your show today, and I'm going to show it at 6 o'clock.
Oh, that's cool. That is cool. I'm going to have to watch that. What time?
It'll be 6 o'clock today.
6 o'clock? Very good. And Denise Gary, what a great man.
If you're watching on the East Coast, it's 9.
Denise Gary, I don't know how I ended up inviting her on the show. This was years ago. And without a doubt, she was one of the smartest people I think I've ever had the pleasure of talking to. Wow. And she was on probably 3 or 4 times, and then I guess, and I didn't know this, I was on KNZR, and she got picked up on KERN. I think it was on a weekend or something. And that was when the old boss, not the same as the new boss, the old boss come to me and said, you can't have her on your program anymore. I said, why? He said, because she's on Kern. She's on KERN on the weekends. I said, so? She's getting...
It's that radio envy.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. I used to live in Florida, and on the beaches of Fort Lauderdale, this goes back 30 some odd years ago, 40 years ago almost, they banned plastic straws on the beach. On the beach, mind you. And replaced it with paper straws, which we all remember from our childhoods being the most god-awful straws.
15-cent milkshake from McDonald's.
And it
Remember
goes,
that?
And you take one suck off of that straw, and it collapses.
Yep, it's gone.
And so they couldn't give out their coffee stirrers, things like that. It had to be all made of wood and everything. Couldn't be any plastic. And everybody, all the restaurants and all the bars thought that was the craziest and most lunatic thing ever, but it was the law in Fort Lauderdale. Well, I just read that Seattle... Here's a shocker.
Yeah.
The city of Seattle, not Seattle, no, really, has banned plastic straws and plastic utensils.
That's right.
They can't sell them, they can't give them away.
Nope.
You're not allowed.
Somebody needs to come up with the aluminum straw.
I like it. I like it. Get me a pencil and a roll of aluminum foil, and I'll wrap it up and then pull the pencil out, and we'll have ourselves a prototype.
There you go.
And we can go on Shark Tank. Maybe Mr. Wonderful will buy it.
$1 million idea.
I
just came up with.
I don't know. Would you work with Mr. Wonderful or Lori?
Lori.
Lori.
Yeah.
Lori.
Yeah, I like the
definitely.
shade she throws.
Yeah, she's But here we go again. Government it's just out of control, folks. Here on Independence Day, think about this. You're not allowed if you're a restaurant owner. I don't know. Does this straw thing? Are they not selling straws in stores?
They're supposed to be bringing that here to California. That they have to ask you if you want a straw first. Otherwise, the restaurant can get a fine.
When was the last time you sat down and they brought water to your table at a restaurant?
You have to ask for it now.
You have to ask for it now.
Yeah.
You have to ask for it.
Go to the Crest. I think they still do it, though.
I think they might.
One of the few.
I ate down there once. I think I told you about
The
this.
pastrami sandwich.
The pastrami
I've had 4 or 5 since you had that one.
Oh, man.
Talk about make you take back things you never stole.
I had no idea how good. I don't know. I had never seen the Crest before. This was probably not even a year ago. And I'm driving along. My wife was having her hair done at her hairdresser's house, and I didn't want to hang around there, so I just went out and drove. And I'm driving down, what street is it?
It's on Weibel.
Weibel Road. And I look over to see the sign for the Crest, drive-in theater and whatnot. And I said, no, that's where Larry works.
Part-time.
So I pull a U-turn, went in there, and that's nice. That place is nice.
Yeah.
I had this vision of a little one-story, tiny little, like where they had the
hole in
movie
the wall
theater.
type,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice. And
First class.
The
best kept
food
secret
is outstanding.
in Bakersfield. Yeah.
I did tell you about a place that I ate at too the other day, a couple of weeks ago, called Mi Peru. I think that's how you pronounce it. M-I Peru. Mi Peru. It's on in 19th
Well, you
Street,
talk about a hole in the wall. I don't think I've heard of it.
It is out. They're right next to Underground Records.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know where the record store is
yeah,
down there on
yeah,
19th Street? They're right there. And I had never had Peruvian food before. And I got to tell you, that food, I'm a nut for a ceviche, shrimp or seafood, any kind of seafood ceviche. And they make a seafood ceviche there that would just knock your, in the dirt.
Wow.
And you can either get it spicy, which I chose not to, or the mild.
You got to be careful when you order, overseas food spicy, especially when it comes to Cambodian and Vietnamese food.
Thai food.
Thai food. They use those little
Indian food.
Indian food. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
We had neighbors who were Indian when they would bring food over to us all the time. I'd take one bite on it.
No, make it mild.
It's mild though. Indian food is delicious.
Oh yeah.
I got a couple of Sikh buddies that brought me some food one time. I'd never had Indian food.
It's great.
And he brought me this curried, it was just like an orange-colored curry sauce with chicken and pork.
I've had it.
Man,
delicious.
That was good. You know what I ate? By the way, we mentioned Uber earlier. Have you tried this Uber Eats app?
No, I haven't.
You ever tried this?
No.
You know what? It's not a bad deal.
Really?
Well, it depends. Like
they'll go to any restaurant.
No, not any restaurant. They have a list of them.
Okay.
And I ordered. It's like Domino's. Yeah, I don't think I wanted pizza. And so there's this place called Boss Pizza that I saw on the app, and I ordered the Meatzilla, whatever it was called. It's just 5 different kinds of meat.
Zilla.
5 different kinds of meat. And, oh man, it was good.
Oh yeah.
There were no veggies on it.
Big old chunks of sausage and
big old chunks of sausage
Canadian
and bacon. And they got the pepperoni and all that. And it was like $8.
Get out.
I'm telling you, after you pay the service fee, which is $2.29, okay?
Yeah.
And the tip the driver, the Uber driver, and they're there in 20 minutes. You show me any delivery place that delivers on their own, like a Domino's or Pizza Hut or whatever. You get a pizza, it's going to be an hour. Remember when it was 30 minutes or it's free?
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't exist anymore.
Not anymore.
I
was using Anita's, they're pretty good too, but they're okay out there by Hoskins where I live.
Yeah, I would, if I were going to order any pizza, there was 2 of them. The Bakersfield, I think it's called the Pizza Company. Alejandro owns it from...
Outstanding.
You've eaten there, right?
Yes. The Lamina guy owns it.
Yeah.
Camino
Real.
Yeah. That guy.
Alex. Oh, man, that is...
I recommend that place. The Pizza Company. My God.
The other one is called Cubby's.
Mm-hmm.
You seen that?
I've eaten there.
Are you a Cubs fan? Just a little bit? Cubby's.
I'm a huge baseball fan, what it is, and my son played on the Cubs, and so...
But
yeah,
isn't that pizza? I mean, that deep dish
gosh.
Italian. Oh my, or Sicilian, I think is what it is actually, right?
Have you eaten at the Studio Grill yet?
No, I haven't.
They have really good pizza there too.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, next show, let's come in here and just eat.
I was just going to say, can we arrange to have food delivered here, and we'll eat their food and we'll talk about it?
I can figure that out.
Wouldn't
Next
that be
time we
great?
do
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
I think that's what we do.
Yeah,
Because
lobster. I love lobster. Big,
We've got the
juicy
visual
ribeye
medium
steak.
here, you know?
Yeah. Prime
We've got the
rib.
visual. You can actually see the food. On radio, you can't see the food.
No, you can't.
All we do is kind of talk about it like this.
Well,
our mouth
it's
full.
really good stuff.
But I'm telling you, there's some great restaurants in this town.
Yeah.
There really are.
Hidden ones, yeah.
And a lot of them are hidden. A lot of people just don't know. You got to, and you know what you got to do? This is the way there was with the Me Peru. You got to step out of your comfort zone once in a while. You know, I've had Colombian food. I've had this old joke in Miami about Colombian food. It not only gives you gas, but it'll give gas to your whole family.
It is quite good.
Well, then you see the old, you know, the Colombians, you know, the difference between the Colombians and the Cubans. If the Cubans are pissed off at you, they'll kill you.
Yeah.
But if the Colombians are pissed at you, they'll kill your whole effing family. I've had Colombian food. We had a place in Miami that was, oh, God, I wish we'd had one here. It was Colombian, I believe, or Argentine. Anyway, they bring out a giant fried plantain. Okay? Just a giant, I mean, it's like, and you break off chips. And they bring out about 10 different dips. And different kinds of beans, different kinds of salsa, all these other things. God almighty, I can still taste that right to this day. Man, that was probably 30 years ago at least.
Sounds delicious.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, man.
But you got to step out, you know. You got to get away from. That's why I like this
Plain
Uber
food,
Eats
yeah.
thing, you know.
Yeah.
Because I can go on there. Let me see. I've got the. This is something good you can do with your phone. Feed yourself. Here it is, right here. See, Uber Eats.
Well, look at here.
And what you do is, have you ever used this before?
No.
Goose? You go to this Uber Eats, you download this, you put your address in it, and, I have to rate my last driver. Not now. Anyway, you see here, now we've got the list, and you can look right there, folks. I'll hold this up to the radio. You go through the list, and there's McDonald's right at the top.
Everybody wants McDonald's.
They
No,
got
we want
McDonald's.
the real food.
Fresco Mexican Grill. You guys ever
Now
heard
we're
of that?
talking.
Oh, I've eaten there.
Is it? Is
Yeah.
it good?
You like that? A lot of these Mexican restaurants are really good. There's a place in
Oh,
Wasco
gosh, yeah.
called Teresa's that just blow you away with
Well,
chili
that's the
verde.
thing about Korean. Oh, I love chili
I mean,
verde.
It'll put the sweat
Put the
on
little
you.
sweat on the brow
Oh,
there.
brother.
Here's another one called Deli Delicious on Hageman Road. And they give you the delivery time.
It's so amazing all the restaurants that we have here in Bakersfield, yet nobody knows about them because they don't advertise.
They don't advertise.
They don't invite you to do business
Well,
with
and
them.
it's the toughest business in
Well,
the
it's
world.
tough to advertise, especially on radio, because a lot of people, a lot of
it's hard
salespeople
to,
are not copywriters. Are going to read the damn menu. Here's your commercial.
Goose knows
blah
about it.
blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah. So they don't
But
make it enticing for a customer.
Yeah, but if anybody wants to advertise here at Kerncast, they just go to kerncast.com.
I was gonna ask
they
you.
find
No.
the sponsor. They find the sponsor.
And-
in fact, they can go right here while they're watching your show. There's a link in the comments section they can click on right now and look at the different sponsorships and different shows they can sponsor right
See,
now.
that's a great
Yeah.
thing. I mean, I've been told, well, people don't watch the video on computer. They want to see it on television. And I'm like, what's the difference? You know, if you can sit and watch some television program for 30 minutes, but you can only get people's attention for 5 minutes on the internet.
Most HDMI cables you can plug into your
Plug it into-
laptop and watch a 55-inch
TV screen.
Netflix,
what's the
or whatever
If,
you want.
if that were true, my kids would put their phones down.
Yeah, right? That's exactly
You
right.
put the computer up on your TV screen.
Here's
It's
another
easy.
one called Just Wing It. It's in the marketplace.
I've heard of Just Wing It. Somebody was there just yesterday or the day before talking about how good it was.
See, now, here's the thing. Right here, okay, look, you see that 20 to 35 minute thing right there?
Yeah,
That's how long it'll be from the time that you order. And they are fast. And they've got, it's like regular Uber, you can actually see the track.
You let them, follow them.
You know when they're going to be there. And they give you a time frame. And it's a lot quicker than any other delivery service I've ever had. And you call Domino's. I did not know this. Do you know they charge you for delivery at Domino's?
Yes, they do.
I didn't know that. It's like $5. You don't even know.
They
it
charge you
don't tell
everywhere
that.
now, almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They charge you for that. And then you tip the guy.
Then you tip them, yeah.
But the poor driver doesn't get any of that money from that $5 they charge you.
No, he'll put the tip in his pocket, so give him more than
$5.
I forget what they
I
do.
believe in tipping.
Yeah.
You know, when they get there and they're friendly and they look, I believe in tipping my delivery people. I tip at restaurants. What do you do? 15, 20%?
Yeah, usually
how about you, Goose?
About 15%,
Yeah. I like to go. Look, if they go out and go that extra mile.
That's why I try not to get anything
if
over
they give me
$12.
extra, I go higher.
Yeah. Yeah, if they give me free food, I always tip more.
Yeah, well, I do too. That's what I was going to
I try to let all the waiters and waitresses know. By the way, if you give me some free stuff, I'll give you a bigger tip.
Yeah. Like that ribeye. That's some free stuff.
Here's a place called Hot Pizza and Wings. Here's another place. Oh, there's McDonald's again. Now, this one gets me. Creamistry. Okay, it's an ice cream store. 25 to 35-minute delivery of ice cream. I wonder how they pack that, you know? Does it melt a little bit in the car with this heat? Somebody said to me the other day, you know, that's what you ought to do, Jazz. You ought to get an Uber gig. I'm like, have you seen the jalopy I drive? I don't think anybody.
That's exactly it.
And it stinks of Pall Malls.
Yeah, when you drive for Uber, they inspect your car.
I know.
Yeah,
No,
they're very particular.
Very thorough in their background checks, too, which I'm glad they do. Romano's Macaroni Grill, you can get that delivered to you. Cafe Express, have you heard of this one?
No.
Logan's Roadhouse, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
All these are the different places that have signed up for Uber Eats. And I think that's a terrific thing because I don't always want the same old pizza from the same old stale Domino's from Pizza Hut, you know. So it's good to have. But you're right about the restaurants. There are some really great restaurants here. Unfortunately, many times they're out of business before we ever find out about them.
It's such a tough business. What do they say? They go out of business within the first 3 years.
3 years,
You're either going to make it or break it in 3 years.
You're either going to make it or break it.
Yeah. And if you make it past 3 years, count your blessings. Again, advertising, if I was going to use advertising, Blue Sky would be the one.
Oh, God,
but it costs you less to retain a consistent customer, and it costs you like $4 or $5 for every new customer you bring in the door, and everybody forgets that.
You got to spend the money to make the money. These advertising, and you know, Larry here has done it. He's done radio
Marketing,
sales.
yeah.
Goose, you ever do sales or just the production?
Yeah, and I never want to do sales again. I actually sold cars.
I did that too.
When I was younger, when I was about ready to get married, I did that, and I'll never do it again.
I couldn't imagine doing that again. I was in my late 20s, I think, when I sold cars. In between radio jobs.
Oh, I've done it too.
Sometimes you take whatever you can get until you get to be 60 years old. That's the thing. Here I am, 60 years old and unemployed, and the applications coming in. The guy looking at me, 60 years old.
Yeah, what are we going to do with that?
I don't think so. Yeah, because you can't. I got the Social Security thing the other day. You know that thing they send you in the mail.
Yeah.
Did you get one too?
Yes, I did.
Yes, you open it up and you see what you would make if you retire at 62 for Social Security.
Or you can wait till you're 80 and get a lot.
Get a lot more.
We're not going to pay you anything to retire at 65.
We were talking about Indian food and how spicy it is and everything. I would love to go to. There is one, right? Taj Mahal.
Yeah, I think so.
Taj Mahal. It's over on. I want to say California. Over on the west side.
Yeah, I'm pretty
can't
sure
remember
exactly where it's at.
It's not far from Hageman, I believe. But I got to get over there one of these days and try some of that curried chicken stuff. Man, that is good. There was you know about Sarah Sanders. Everybody knows about Sarah Sanders getting kicked out of the Red Hen.
Out of the Hen.
Yeah. And did you see this the other day? A reporter who happens to be an Indian of, not
of the country India.
I was about to say
not Native American.
Not the feather kind.
not the Pocahontas kind.
No, not the Pocahontas kind.
Yeah,
That's right.
the Pocahontas.
More like the Sing kind.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this guy stands up at the press conference and he says, "I would like to make a quick comment," right?
Mm-hmm.
And his name is Raghunar Goya.
Boy, that was perfect
Raghunar Goya.
Yeah.
He stood up and he said, "I would like to make a quick comment." And all of a sudden, all the other press people started yelling and throwing water paper at him and everything. And he stood up and he said, "Sarah, I want you to know that you are most welcome at any Indian restaurant across the U.S.,
Wow.
including and especially right here in this area."
Beautiful.
Isn't that cool?
Great. I love it.
The Indian people. I love the Indian people.
Yes.
Just great family ethic, great work ethic. Have you ever seen a Sikh or an Indian on welfare? Because I don't think they do.
Right.
They come here. When you stop and think about it, this is the American dream. They love this country too, and they come to this country with the idea of making themselves a success, and they'll do it on their own. Thank you very much, and by their own terms.
Mm-hmm.
And they end up opening their own businesses. Yeah, maybe a 7-Eleven or two, but what the hell? They're successful. My 7-Eleven there in Oildale. We got
about 2 or 3 of them.
Yep. There's over on Airport.
Mm-hmm.
There's the one there owned by an Indian gentleman who's been there, my God, since I lived here, and I have friends in the Sikh Riders Motorcycle Club.
Their ride's coming up.
Their ride is coming up
Shortly.
But they just, they come here with a dream, and by God, they make it happen.
They do it. Yeah, work.
You don't see
They were our allies, in the war.
And the family, man, the family unit, they take care of each other.
Fought on horseback.
And World War I and World War II.
Absolutely.
As a matter of fact. And just great folks. Great,
Salt of the earth, get to know them. That's where pajamas come from, by the way.
Is that right?
Punjabi. It's serious.
Really?
Because of the loose clothes they wear. It was a takeoff of Punjabi. Pujama.
The other day, I get dragged to the mall again. Dum, dum, dum. And the wife wants to go. So well, first of all, she had her ring cleaned over at the jewelry store. Yeah. Well, no, we got to go get it now.
Yeah,
so she talked me into it, and I drove down there. This is the 3rd time in a week that we've been to the mall.
Yay!
And we go to Hellsburg. We get her wedding ring. And then she says, "Well, I want to go down to Old Navy and see if they've got any more of those jeans on sale." No.
I'm sure they have them on sale.
So here we are. I'm pushing her down. And I'm scooting. I want to get this over with and get the hell out of here. Well, so I just took her wheelchair and I pushed her right into the. Are we on? Uh-oh, what happened?
No, we're keep going. We're
on?
We're just the camera went out.
The camera went out.
Oh, we're doing radio now.
Oh, right, it's radio.
So anyway,
first of all, I apologize for everybody. The feed just went dead, but we will be back on the air with video in just moments.
All right, but we're still live on
still
audio.
live.
Oh, okay.
We're still live on the air, so put your shirt back on.
I'm sorry, I've been doing the show naked this afternoon, which is kind of weird. There's 3 guys in here,
really.
but seriously, get Kelly back. No, but no, seriously, I take her in, and so I said, "Here," I flagged down one of the little gals that works there. Yeah. I said, "Take care of my wife. She wants to try on some jeans. I'm going to go smoke a cigarette." And so I go outside and I smoke a cigarette, come back in, and it's right there at the end of the mall, right before the food court.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
And there are these benches there, and I sit down. And I'm just sitting there going, God, I hate this place. This is living hell. Mm-hmm. This is the mall. It's Valley Plaza Mall. It's horrifying. It's so bad. It's pure hell. And I look up, and here comes a Sikh, older fella with the beard and the turban, and he sits down right across from me in the other bench over there. And he does this. He looks to the side, and he looks back over at me, and he looks to his side, and he shakes his head. His wife is in the same damn old neighborhood store. She's in the same damn old neighborhood store. And I'm sitting there thinking, and I said something to her. I said, just kind of taking it easy here at the mall today, huh? And he goes, I hate this place. And I'm laughing because here we are, cultures apart from each other, a massive divide between the Indian or the Sikh culture and your basic redneck American. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we've got so much in common.
Yep, sitting here waiting on the old lady to try on 50 pair of jeans.
Here's my idea. You tell me if you'd like to. I came up with an idea years ago, right? For a video piece, a video, short video clip. And I know you guys have had to do this before. You go into the store with your wife, and she wants to go try shit on. She wants to go try stuff on. Did I say that?
It's the internet.
It's the interwebs. That's right.
And where's that dump?
So she wants to go try stuff on, and you end up standing there doing what? Holding her purse.
Right.
While she goes in and tries on 2,000 different outfits. And you stand there. So I had this idea popped into my head one day. Let's say that you're standing there holding your wife's purse, and all of a sudden you hear psst. Psst. And you look around, and there in one of those circular racks of clothes is a guy parting the clothes going, psst. Come here. Come over. And you look around, you get up and you walk over there with your wife's purse, and you pull the clothes back and you see a spiral staircase. Right, you hear music playing. It's Skinnerd. Or the Allman Brothers. It's real music, you know. So you go down the spiral staircase, and next thing you know, you're in a bar filled with men watching football, holding their wives' purses, drinking beer. That's a shopping experience I could get into.
I like
you
that
know?
idea. Yes, absolutely.
Put a bar. I've always said this in a women's clothing store. Put a bar in the basement for the guys, so we got some place to go while she's trying on all the different clothes.
I love the idea.
Well, you know what?
Football stripper pole. Dude.
You know what? Let me tell you something. We sit here and we laugh and we joke, and I always want to I just want to send a message out to everybody. This may be my destiny here. I don't know, doing internet radio. But I've learned that you can't fight destiny. And you know why? Because if you fight destiny, you're going to have to fight all the other strippers and the bouncer too. So don't fight destiny. Accept destiny.
I like destiny.
With open arms. Yeah, she was all right. She was all right.
She was one of the better ones.
She was one of the better ones.
Especially when she could do that little trapeze thing with 10 toes.
Oh my God, we're almost done.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I think we've...
I was trying to call for the last break, but you were just going on so.
Oh well, man!
You were going on so well. I was like, I'll let you go.
Oh man, we'll go till
everybody's having
we'll go another 15 seconds.
I want to thank TJ Espinoza. What? Esposito.
Yeah.
Sorry, TJ. I want to thank TJ for inviting me here to do this today. This is like therapy.
Yeah.
Being on in all seriousness. Being on the radio was always very therapeutic to me.
It's in your blood.
It's in my blood, true, but there's something more to it. I mean, I've gone through a lot of problems in my life. Have a wife that committed suicide, had a kid, my son, that was just out of control. Been through a lot of things, and I always found that going on the radio that morning or that night or whenever my show happened to be was 2 or 3 hours of me not having to think about the problems. And
that's why I have so many jobs.
Larry has how many jobs?
5.
5, I think. Yeah.
Hopefully this will be 6 if we can come back.
If we can come back and do this. And Goose, I want to thank you.
Goose, thank you.
Welcome.
TJ Espinoza.
Estagupa.
Estevez.
And his lovely wife, Amanda, over at Patriot Bail Bonds.
Patriot Bail Bonds. If you get in trouble, do what I do.
Yeah.
Call TJ.
Absolutely.
Bail your ass out.
There you go. Even if you want to argue with TJ.
Oh, did you see that? Oh, yeah. Did you see that video of that bail bonds lady shooting that guy, killing him?
Yeah.
You saw that?
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Oh yeah.
Man.
She got a little PO'd at him.
Yeah, shot him in the back.
Yeah.
And then she got off. All right, that's going to wrap it up for the Jazz McKay podcast extravaganza here for a Wednesday, Independence Day, 4th of July. Go out there, eat yourself some hot dogs, drink yourself some brewskis, shoot off some illegal fireworks, not near my house. Not near my house.
Safe and sane, my eye.
Just go over to Lois's house, bless her heart. Blow up some over there. All right. God bless America, and I'll see ya.